Hi, I'm Eric Kenzer, and this is the 2017 Skylights launch. This is a new product that we've launched as of May 1st. It's our Skylights. It's our brand new clay lightener. The active ingredients in this are going to be kale and clay with rice flour to soothe and hydrate the hair. It also encapsulates itself very nicely. It's great for all hand painting techniques. This product is mixed 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces of cream developer, 5, 10, 20, 30, or 40 volume, all recommended off the scalp only simply because if they are on the scalp in the hot zone of the head, they will not harden up and it will stay very liquidy and very liquefied. It will start to, and it won't have its creamy, pasty, almost frosting-like texture that we work with when we're painting with it. In addition to this particular product, in our lightening category, you can also choose from dual purpose lightener, synchro lift, and then lighten up. The Forever Blonde take-home category is what's going to support this primarily. Its key items in this are going to be the Care Active technology of Forever Blonde. It's basically safflower oleosomes that hydrate the hair for up to 24 hours after the guest has washed their hair. And of course the Platinum Blonde shampoo in the blonding category has also got that hint of purple behind it, so this way your blondes stay not brassy, they stay very cool. With that, let's go ahead and let's paint some hair. I am going to use these cute little see-through clear plastics. And this will just be to separate in between each section. It also helps you to be able to still see what's happening. If you're somebody that likes to do ombre balayage work with foils, you can easily see what's happening inside. So you don't have to mess up all the foils to see. So that's fantastic. I use my little board here. So the first thing I'm going to be demoing for you is what's called edging. And what we're going to be doing is basically drawing the traditional V. I'm going to put a little product on my board so this way you can make sure you get even saturation on both sides. And then we're going to come in, scoop up the product, which has this very nice, creamy, frosting-like consistency. And we're going to go in very definite V shapes. So just on the edge. Edging, what a big surprise. Edging is edging. Like so. One thing that's going to be very key with Skylights is saturation. A lot of times we spend so much time making sure we get this perfect, we don't put quite enough product, and then when the hair doesn't lighten to the effect that we want, we blame the product, when in reality we probably just didn't put enough product down. It's still a lightener. It still has to have enough product that it can saturate the hair and encapsulate itself. Lighter saturation just means lighter amount of lift or decolorization. Also, of course, these different techniques will also change how the hair finishes itself off after we've hand painted it. Just a little side note, we also offer you in our blonding kit our little etching brush. So if you really want to do some detail work up towards the top area with feathering, you can certainly do that with that tool. Again, we're working on the edging, so we're just going to come in here, and we're going to join these guys right down here, working to make sure, of course, not to have a definite line. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish my top panel. Sometimes some folks like to leave this out. I'm going to go ahead and just put it right in. Just going to draw very small. Very small. Just for a little blending action on top. And there we go. Come back down to the board. And we'll have that nice blend right there. Then we're going to place a little separator. In the front panel, I've already started contouring. So I'm just going to finish a few panels so we can see how the contouring is done. Contouring is going to be a heavier application towards the front of the face, moving into a larger section away. It doesn't have to be away from the face. It could just as easily be towards the face. Meaning we should have our light side here working into heavy color towards the face. And I always like to make sure these are nice and have a nice tension to them, and that they're living where they're supposed to be. So basically we're coloring the hair, or decolorizing the hair, but we're doing it in the plane where the hair actually lives. So we're less likely to get a lot of over direction and pieces that we didn't color, or maybe that we missed. Work some down. And I'm just going to come up here and double check this guy. And feather that in just a little bit more. And a little bit more, I think, up here. And voila, that's good. The nice thing about this product also, it has little to no transfer, so even if we weren't using these little separators, it would not transfer to the hair underneath. It's very difficult to make this product do that. Why doesn't this guy want to lay where he wants him to lay? Behave yourself. Alright, let me get this guy. And we'll finish this. Section of contouring, again, heavy piece towards the front of the face in this particular scenario. And we're going to fade off into a lighter, or a heavier chunk, I should say, at the very bottom of the hair, or towards the bottoms of the hair. Make sure saturation's good. And feather that off. Beautiful. Contouring finished. We're going to move right over here, and this is going to be sketching. Sketching is going to be more for 100% color application or lightener application, meaning we want pretty much her whole head to be light. We're going to leave just a bit of shadow at the base. So we're going to come in here. So quite a bit of product on our brush, and I like to just start getting it smoothed out. I used to be a cake decorator a long time ago, and so it's all, I love the consistency of this product because it really is kind of like frosting. It's almost exactly how it feels. Wedding cake frosting. Very smooth, very creamy. And unlike a lot of the other clay lighteners that I've played with, this one doesn't dry out. It's not dry, it's not flaky. Stays wet virtually the entire time you're working with it. You can add a little more if you want a little bit lighter bit of product, you can do that. One key note on especially ombre application for dark hair, make sure that when you're applying that you've got maximum amount of energy in the bowl. So a lot of the times it's better not to mix up this big gigantic bowl full of lightener that we're going to work like a crazy person trying to get it on her head. Maybe if we broke it into 4 quadrants, maybe what would be better is 4 fresh bowls of lightener and a fresh bowl for each section. This way we can ensure that we have maximum amount of energy. Because if you think of somebody whose hair is like a natural level 3, and then let's say their texture is very coarse, they got like little ropes for hair, you're going to need a lot of energy and a lot of processing time, but you're also going to need to make sure saturation is on there as well. And that you have maximum energy from the beginning of the application to the end. There's that one there. And this last section or technique that I'm going to share here real quick with you, this is well, what we called freehand. So basically, dealer's choice, whatever you like. I've been doing a bricklaying pattern intermixed with the etching pattern. So this one underneath we can see is more of a straight, yeah, with more natural on the side. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to do some edging. How high up or down you start is completely between you and your guest. And I find the more product you get on the hair right away, the more control you have over the hair. So it stays where it's supposed to be. And then you're less likely to get lines. Also, when applying this, a lot of folks like to do the color and try to do this technique, like their permanent color at the base and then this technique at the ends, all at the same time, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that. You can do it. But I certainly have found it's a lot easier to just work all of my lightener first by itself, because this way also in between, if the hair needs to have any type of treatments, I can get that on before I go back and work on the permanent color at the new growth area to blend out into the ombre. And if you happen to make a little boo-boo, it gives you a chance to cover up that holiday or weekend that we just don't want to see because that is a horrible experience. Always working on the holiday or weekend because we made a little error. But we put it on the second round, guess what? We don't have to worry about it. And so the top freehand, I'm just going to give one nice bold streak down the middle, and it's going to fan out to much more application at the bottom. So the application gets much bolder as we work our way towards the bottom. And using my board. A nice thing they did with this little board for us also at Paul Mitchell is they gave us some little wells. So if you're the person that doesn't like to have to always reach, you could put a lot of product in there, and then you wouldn't have to keep reaching for your bowl. And then it gives you a little more freedom to freehand and roam around the head. All right, this is going to go ahead and process for up to 15 minutes, and then we'll be doing some other things to her when she's finished. And with that, that was Skylights 2017. Thanks so much.